Hi everyone, welcome back to Raw FPL. So in this one, it's the Game Week 37 team selection. So first, I'll quickly go over how I did in Game Week 36, and then we'll take a look at Game Week 37 and only Game Week 37 and 38 to go. So we're really close to the end of the season now. And yeah, I'm 151k in the world. So to make that top 100k, I'm going to have to probably take some risks. There's a couple of options, and there's also the sensible option, which I'll talk about in this video. So yeah, the final two game weeks. If you do like this one, please do drop a like and hit subscribe if you're new, and let's jump into it. So game week 36 then, and it was a small green arrow. I think I went from about 156k, and now I'm about 150. I think I'm 154k actually. So yeah, really tiny green arrow. But yeah, green arrow is green. I mean, it could have been so much more. The annoying thing, there was quite a few 50-50s, which, to be fair, Areola and Raya, that was a 50-50, and I decided to go for Areola. He got the 8 points. I think if he got one more point, or one more save point, he would have been on like 10 as well, because he'd have got an extra bonus. So he was on 5 saves, so one more, he would have got an extra save point, and then he would have also got the bonus. So, yeah, but yeah, 8 points, I'll take that. Munoz, 11 points. He could have had another assist as well. I don't know if you saw the game, but it was so close. Him and Sarr linking up, and Sarr was like the tiniest bit offside, and his arm was over the halfway line, but then his body was in his own half. So yeah, I don't know, but it was so close anyway. And that point swing there, obviously Munoz would have got another 3, potentially more, and then Sarr would have got another 5 and potentially more as well. So yeah, obviously Eze went and got the brace. But those two, 11 and 6, it just could have been way more. Kivior, it was between him and Konza. I was never realistically going to be playing Burn. So although he got 11 points, I was never really going to play him. I did debate playing Konza. I benched him again, which I probably just need to stop doing because I benched him 2 games in a row now. And he's got 5 and 6 points. So yeah, I will be playing him next game week, but just annoying to have. I mean, look at my bench here. I've got Rodgers with 6, Conza with 5, and Burn with 11. But as I say, I was never really going to play Burn, so I can't complain too much. In midfield, Salah blanking again, which is good because, a lot of people captained him. As I say, Salah with the 6, and Buemo got the assist, which, yeah, I mean, he was probably the most captained, so for him to get an assist was kind of okay. But De Bruyne and obviously Southampton getting that 0-0, I just didn't see that coming, to be honest. Southampton have been terrible all season. But when you look at his stats, he's got an XG of 0.37 and he's got the XA of 0.81. So expected goal involvement 1.18. It's just, yeah, really unlucky. If that went in, he was a bit of a differential as well to be captained. So if that goes in, the small green arrow turns to a big one, and potentially we're looking, close to that 100k. So it's such fine margins. Another 50-50, I went for Wood. I mean, I say 50-50. I was always going to go for Wood over Visser, but it was definitely debated. But yeah, Wood ended up getting a goal. So he got the goal and 2 bonus. Marmoush, so he was obviously benched. And I think, yeah, if you've got Marmoush now, he is potentially a sell because obviously Haaland's now back, which I was surprised to see him start, to be honest. But Haaland's back and you just don't know if he's going to play. So for the final two game weeks, I think it could be worth moving Marmoush on, which I'll talk about in the next section. And then Isak blanking, which, yeah, he's been a bit off of it. He's not been absolutely flying, but he's still kind of ticking over nicely. So lots of people are on about selling him. I think Arsenal away, it's not the worst time to jump off, but equally, he's definitely not like a must sell. So that was game week 36 up to 154k. Let's take a look at game week 37. Okay, looking ahead to game week 37 then, and I've currently got Areola in net rather than Raya. Now, I think both of them are going to concede, but I do think Areola is going to make more saves, so that could change before the deadline, but at the moment, I've currently got Areola in net. Defence, I've then got Guardiol, Konza, and Munoz. So Guardiol, I think, Man City do have the FA Cup final, but they still need to win the Bournemouth game because they need to secure Champions League. So Guardiol, I'm happy to play. I do think he'll play. Um, and then same with Munoz, really. He could get rotated, because I think it's only like 3 days after the FA Cup final. This Wolves at home, but Munoz is just a bit of a machine, and he seems to play every game. Even when they had the double game weeks back to back, I think he played like 90 minutes in both of them. So yeah, Munoz. I think the other Palace players, so like Sarr for example, and Eze, definitely Mateta, they could potentially, they might not all get benched, but they could potentially see reduced minutes. Munoz obviously could as well, but I just think Munoz, he's more likely to get the full, or at least get more minutes than the rest. So I'm currently playing Munoz. Um, I think if you do have like a Sarr or like an Eze, and you've got another player that you can play ahead, that I'm not, if you've got Rodgers for example or someone like that, I do think you want to play them ahead because they definitely could get reduced minutes. I don't think I'd be going like taking hits and things to remove Palace players, but equally if you do, if you've got Mateta and you want to go to someone like a Wood or someone like a Watkins, then I think that makes a lot of sense. But yeah, Palace players in general, I think Munoz, he should get the most minutes out of them. But yeah, Sarr, Eze, Mateta could definitely see reduced minutes because of that FA Cup game. So at the moment, playing Munoz, I've got Konza again. So Man United and Tottenham, they're obviously going to have one eye on Europe. So I think it's a really good time to target them. So I'm currently playing Konza and I'm currently playing Rodgers as well. I've then got Umbuemo, Fulham at home. I've then got Salah, who's currently got my captain armband. I don't know. I've just got a feeling about him. He's obviously been performing not as well as he has been. So I don't know. I just think he's due a big haul because obviously they've won the title. He's just not. His last double-digit haul was Southampton there, which was game week 28. So yeah, he's obviously he was on that mad run before, and I don't know. He obviously they have sort of dipped a bit, Liverpool in general, but I still think he's after personal records as well. So I am tempted to go Salah. Also, it's a Monday night kickoff, which I like. Obviously, it's the end of the game week. You've kind of got one last player to play as your captain, so it's quite like having that. Um, but yeah, Salah currently the captain. It could change, which I'll discuss a bit in the next section. And I've got De Bruyne at Bournemouth at home again. I think he will start, but there's definitely risk there because obviously he's got that FA Cup game. But again, they need to win this Bournemouth game, so I think his minutes will be reduced, but he should start. Then got Wood, West Ham away. Happy to play him. Marmoush, Bournemouth at home. Now Marmoush, he obviously was benched last game week, and Haaland is now back, so he could get a start and he could kind of play, like wide. But I don't know. I think his minutes risks. He's definitely a minutes risk, and I think his minutes will be reduced. So I think if you do have a free transfer, Marmoush is probably where you should use it. If you've got like Palace players and you've got Marmoush, I don't know, it's a tough one, but I think I probably would go for Marmoush just because there's so many different forward options. So I'm currently thinking getting rid of Marmoush, but then yeah, on the bench I've got Raya, Sarr, Kivior, and Burn. So yeah, I'm currently thinking getting rid of Marmoush. So the plan would be Marmoush out, and then I would probably go for Watkins. So initially, he was a bit of a differential, but now everyone seems to be talking about him. And I think it is for good reason. He's got Tottenham at home. Obviously, Tottenham, they're going to have one eye on Europe. So they might not put a full strength team out. And also, Aston Villa are playing for Champions League spot still. So they've got something to play for. He is like a really good captaincy options as well. But I just think he's probably going to be the most captained. So I don't know. I'm happy to have him and I'm happy to transfer him in. But I don't know. I also really don't like the fact that he's the first game. So if he, if Watkins blanks, then you just know you're gonna have a bit of a poor game week already. So I almost like having Salah Monday night. But yeah, that could definitely change. You shouldn't really think like that because obviously it doesn't really affect it. But mentally, it's just I don't know. I prefer having a later kickoff captain. But yeah, currently on Salah could change to Watkins, but I think that looks quite good. So that's how it looks for this game week. Obviously, if you can't afford to go straight from Marmoush to Watkins, you could get rid of Isak. So Isak, he's got Arsenal away, and then he's got Everton at home, which they're not. I don't know. They're no pushover, are they, Everton now? So I think if you wanted to, and also his ownership's like 60%. So if you did want to jump off him and you're chasing rank, then it could be a really good time to do it. But just know that Isak could get a brace in any game. So I've obviously got the option of getting rid of Marmoush, who is a minute's risk. So I'm removing, someone with a minute's risk and then bringing in someone who's good for the next 2 game weeks. He's got Tottenham and then Man U. So either way, they're going to have just played in Europe. They're either going to be celebrating or like mentally drained and knackered. So I don't know. I do like Watkins. I think he's going to be really popular. I think he's going to be brought in quite a lot. So he's not going to be any differential. But I do think he's probably the best transfer to make for my team. But yeah, so that's how it looks in Game Week 37. And then Game Week 38, final game week, I'll have 1.1 mil to spare. And this is where I could either, get rid of like Sarr, I could get rid of Rodgers, and I could try and bring in, some like Bournemouth player, or I do want some attack from Arsenal. So I'd either probably get rid of Sarr because he's got obviously Liverpool away. So I'd get rid of Sarr, and then I could hopefully get Martinelli. So I could get Martinelli there. I mean, it does leave me with a bit of a benching headache because, yeah, I don't really know who I'd bench really because they've all got pretty good fixtures. But I would want to play Martinelli. It's probably going to have to be Rodgers, isn't it? So I probably have to bench Rodgers. I'd obviously play that's another. I've got Areola against Ipswich, and I'll have to play Raya against Southampton, and then I'd play Kivior and bench Munoz there. So that's how it looks probably for Game Week 38, which I'll have triple Arsenal against Southampton. Obviously, Saka would be ideal here, but I can't get him if I go for Watkins. So that's the current plan. The only other thing I was sort of looking at was it's Jamie Vardy's last home game, and he's 1 goal away from getting that 200. So I could get rid of Marmoush, get in Vardy like that. So then I'll have him for Ipswich at home. Again, I'll just play, obviously, Rodgers over Sarr. I'd play Konza over Kivior. And then that's how it would look. So I could do that there. Right? And then what I could do the next game week 38, is I would then have just enough to get Saka. So I could get rid of Sarr. This is if no price rises, like nothing changes, and I could then get Saka, and then I could just I could bench Vardy potentially, so I don't even have that benching headache, and then I could have Saka. But then it's like, is Watkins a better option? I don't know. I do quite like that, getting Vardy in. So yeah, that's kind of the 2 options. I either get Vardy and then get Saka the next game week, or I get Watkins and then I get Martinelli against Southampton. But yeah, Vardy, Ipswich at home, yeah, could be good. And he's 1 away, like I say, from 200 goals. So it's one of those options. At the moment, I'd say I'm leaning towards the kind of more boring Watkins option. But yeah, part of me wants to go for Vardy. As always, I'll let you know in the comments what I actually do. But I think Vardy, if you do need a cheap forward, he's the one I would go with. Maybe that's my Leicester bias, but he's going to want that goal number 200. So I think he could be good, and he's cheap, right? So yeah, that's it for this video. If you did enjoy it, please do drop a like and hit subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you after the deadline. So best of luck, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.